Part 193. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu. Chapter 1921. The mythical Pixio shivered subconsciously, as if it was very sensitive. Fang Fan curled his lips, speechless. What is wrong with this? Open mouth. Fang Fan gave orders to the Pixio mythical beast. Why should I open my mouth? What do you want to do? Pixio looked at Fang Fan vigilantly. For some reason, every time he saw Fang Fan, he couldn't help but feel panic in his heart. There seems to be a magical power in Fang Fan's body, it always affects his soul. Every time he thinks of this, he feels very uneasy. If you don't open your mouth, do you really want my sword to pierce your abdomen? Fang Fan curled his lips. He was completely speechless about this mythical beast. What was in his mind? Do you have any self-knowledge? It seems like this. Pixio raised his eyebrows, and then said with deep conviction. Fang Fan felt his scalp tingling more and more when he saw the silly and foolish look of the Pixio beast. This guy's devouring ability must be invincible, but there's something wrong with his brain, right? Always feel not bright? Under Fang Fan's urging, the mythical Pixio opened its mouth, and then the heaven-zipping sword shot out from it. The sword is gone. My stomach doesn't hurt anymore. Ahahaha, I am indeed the most witty Pixio of the Pixio clan. While talking, the chubby Pixio beast turned its eyeballs around and was about to run away. Wait a moment. I have fulfilled your request, now you should also meet my request. Shouldn't the 9 gods' fruits be taken out? Fang Fan looked at the humble face of Pixio, and then said with a smile. Now that the words have been said to this point, it is impossible to still not understand, right? God's fruit? What kind of God's fruit? There is no God's fruit. It's all mine. Ahahaha. Stupid guy. I won't give you the fruit of God, so what can you do? Pixio said with a humble face. With this appearance, it is obvious that he is about to breach the contract. Fang Fan smiled, and suddenly laughed happily. As for the leaders of other forces on the side, they are already panicking at this moment. Quick, hurry up and grab that Pixio beast. He wants to escape. Fang Fan acts as the Archbishop in red. I have already reminded you that this mythical beast is not trustworthy at all, you have to sign some kind of contract with him. Fu Sui, the third peak goddess of Genji Shenzong, said immediately, with extremely strong complaints in her words. Fang Fan smiled coldly. Complain? Non-existent. Want to float in front of him? I don't have the qualifications and capital yet. Little Pixio, you'd better think about it clearly. We signed a contract, and if you break the contract like this, are you really not afraid of the punishment of the power of the contract? Fang Fan narrowed his eyes, already giving an ultimatum. This mythical Pixio is indeed a beast, and he has no reputation at all, so he can't be blamed for being ruthless. Ha ha ha. Fool. What a fool. What I signed just now is nothing more than a contract of God. I can swallow that trace of divine power in minutes, and I can't control me at all. The so-called divine punishment will never come to me. Otherwise, you can try it. You can't catch me. You just can't catch me. The mythical Pixio swayed its round buttocks towards Fang Fan, and then yelled arrogantly. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu. Chapter 1922. Fang Fan stood at the back and just looked at this idiot, somehow felt a little funny. Still twisting her butt, is it so cool in my heart? Completely show the beautiful posture to the fullest. Fang Fan curled his lips, and at the moment he only thought of complaining. This wave of stupidity, the melon seeds are really not working well. Get back. Fang Fan gave an order, and then the sound of thunder roared out. The body of the mythical beast that was in the gallop suddenly trembled, and then he found that his body was uncontrollable, and then crazily backed away from where Fang Fan was. How is it possible? How could this be? Didn't I devour that trace of divine power? Why do I feel like I can't control my body anymore? Ah, damn. Damn. What did you do to me? The mythical pixie with trembling lips, at this moment began to howl unnaturally. It's just that his yelling at the moment has no meaning or value. From Fang Fan's point of view, this is just another wave of stupid actions. Fang Fan stretched his waist, the smile on his face was very indifferent. As I said, if you don't fulfill the contract, you will be punished a little. But you just don't believe it? Then what can I do? Didn't you like to wiggle your butt at me just now? I'll let you twist your head today. Fang Fan snorted coldly, then held the Zhantian sword, placed it flat on his hand, and then slapped the buttocks of this mythical beast viciously. Clap clap. Clap clap. The sound was as deafening as thunder. The scene was once shocking. Everyone's eyes were focused here, their expressions suddenly looked extremely strange, and they always felt somewhat unique. Ah! Ah! You dare to hit me? How dare you humiliate this beast? You let me go, let go of my body. Bastard! Bastard! Ah! The sounds of roaring and roaring were endless, and the roars of the mythical beast completely showed the fear and uneasiness in his heart. Naturally, his body twitched unnaturally, and his eyes became dull unnaturally. Hand over the fruit of God. Speed, hurry up. Fang Fan gave the order directly, and worked so hard for so long, wasn't it just for this little fruit of God? The corners of Fang Fan's mouth raised slightly, and his feelings became unusually deep. If you don't pay, you won't pay. If you have the ability today, beat me to death. Ah! My Pixiu family only has desperate Pixiu, but no yielding Pixiu. Pixiu raised its head proudly, this guy even thought he was awesome. Fang Fan inexplicably felt his scalp go numb. What the hell is going on? The melon seeds in the head are not working well? Is this still a tenacious Pixiu? Fang Fan smiled indifferently, and directly carried Pai Yao to the distance. Speak or not? Say. Tell me. Where is the fruit of God? You should be clear that now you have no choice but to cooperate with me. I advise you not to continue the stalemate, all this is useless work. At that time, if you really want to die until the end, but no one will come to care about you. Fang Fan held Pixiu by the neck of the mythical beast with one hand, and glanced around at the moment. The reason why he brought this mythical beast to other places just now was naturally not doing it suddenly, but mainly because of deeper considerations. For example, to conceal the existence of these god fruits. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 1923. Now that he is in the ruins of the gods, there is no doubt that Fang Fan can still stabilize the overall situation. But if he waited until the relics of the gods came out and faced the joint pressure from the Temple of the Alliance of Light and the Temple of Darkness, would he hand in the fruits of the gods in his pocket or not? At that time, he will definitely become the thorn in the flesh of everyone. Fang Fan's mind moved slightly, and he naturally had to find out clearly about these situations, and there must be no surprises. Especially at this moment, the situation is more critical. Fang Fan narrowed his eyes silently, all kinds of thoughts were churning in his mind, his gaze became more and more earnest and penetrating. The key now is to get the fruit of God hidden by the Pixiu beast. Facing Fang Fan's repeated beatings, Pixiu said that he was very hurt. The point is, he found that he couldn't control his will at all. Every time he wanted to fight back, his hands and feet would tremble unnaturally, as if it was such a terrible thing. He even had the urge to kneel in front of Fang Fan, wanting to kneel in front of Fang Fan completely, wanting to fully express the humble feeling in his heart. This feeling, more and more real. What kind of curse did you put on me? Why did I become like this? I am the great Pixiu, I can devour everything, I have the supreme blood. Ah! In exchange for the roar of the Pixiu beast, Fang Fan whipped harder. This mythical beast is like a furry child. For such a disobedient hairy child, criminal law is sometimes imposed, so that he can behave better in the future. I order you to hand over the fruit of God. Don't hand it over in public, just give it to me secretly, and then say on the surface that you have swallowed all the fruits of the gods, and only one fruit of the gods is left. Did you hear me? I'm talking to you. Snapped. While Fang Fan was speaking, the back of the sword in his hand slapped the mythical beast again, making a series of noises. The mythical Pixiu pursed its thick lips, wanting to resist, but was unable to resist. The current hymn is firmly suppressed by Fang Fan, and any messy thoughts and ideas are instantly suppressed by Fang Fan. The point is, he can't even control his own brain and soul at this moment, let alone other things. It seemed that there was a voice echoing in his mind all the time, making him obey Fang Fan's orders unconditionally. Even if the unhappiness in his heart has been loaded to the peak at this moment, he can only hang on at this moment, stabilize his mentality, and dare not slack off in the slightest. This feeling is so awkward. He wanted to vent it completely. I heard. You stop hitting. The fruits of the gods are all here, and they are all for you. I will also act with you according to your order, but can you let me go? This feeling is too strange. Am I going to die? The mythical Pixiu fell into deep self-doubt. At this moment, the eyes looking at Fang Fan are full of horror, as if Fang Fan is the devil that devours people's souls. Let you go? That's impossible. Your destiny in this life is to become my pet in battle. Be obedient, I will let you be promoted to Sanctuary Realm within 10 years. Let you regain the glory of the Pixiu clan. As a mythical Pixiu, it's only a low-level quasi-sacred realm, it's too embarrassing. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 1924. Fang Fan looked at the Pixiu mythical beast, and then complained. After complaining, Fang Fan secretly accepted 8 of the 9 divine fruits delivered by the mythical beast Pixiu, and the remaining one, that is to be displayed in front of people. Ding! Congratulations to the host for obtaining more than 3 gods' fruits and successfully completing the task Cs. Ding! Now the rewards will be distributed. Ding! Obtained 100,000 strands of divine power. 10 Holy Legion experience cards. Fang Fan's eyes suddenly focused on the voice of the ethereal system, and his expression became more and more excited. 100,000 strands of divine power, 10 Holy Legion experience cards. This is Fang Fan's trump card. Fang Fan smiled, very happily. Compared to the value of a few gods' fruits, 100,000 strands of God's origin power and 10 Holy Legion experience cards moved him even more. With enough divine power, he will be able to revive Xiao Xiao. And the powerful effect of the Holy Legion experience card can completely create a real Holy Land Legion. Thinking of this, the excitement on Fang Fan's face was completely uncontrollable. But these need to be hidden temporarily, and then fully exposed when the right opportunity arises. As for now, stabilize your mentality first and take it easy. God's fruit. Is there only one God's fruit left? You prodigal Pixiu. Have you swallowed the other 8 divine fruits? Boom! Fang Fan roared angrily, then kicked the Pixiu beast, and yelled cursingly. When it's time to curse, don't let go. This wave after wave, the feeling is very real. Ah! Pixio said that he was wronged. He didn't do anything. He managed to pick 9 divine fruits, and Fang Fan snatched them before he could enjoy them. At this moment, he only felt wronged. As soon as Fang Fan said it, the surrounding area shook, because they all heard the name of the fruit of God that they had been thinking about. The fruit of the gods is really the fruit of the gods, but Fang Fan only has 1 piece. The remaining 8 are all gone? Are they all swallowed by this wild beast? No. Impossible. Absolutely impossible. Pixio beast. Spit out the fruit of God. Spit it out. Haishan, the son of the darkness temple, let out an angry roar, and the anger on his face was beyond words. He yelled at this moment, and then rushed over eagerly. His complexion became ugly, his eyes gradually became vicious, and his feelings were unusually deep and sharp. While talking at the moment, his posture is vividly displayed. The extra words are completely speechless. At this moment, not only Haishan, the godson of the Dark Temple, but also cultivators from several other major forces rushed towards him. The fruit of God was swallowed by him. What a waste! I think this Pixio beast hasn't finished digesting the fruit of the gods. Now that we open him up, we should still be able to find traces of the fruit of the gods. Qi Lian, the king of the Akabane kingdom, narrowed his eyes, and then twisted his fat body and rushed towards him with a greedy look on his face. This time the Akabane kingdom lost tens of thousands of troops, so it can't be nothing, right? The legendary fruit of God must be captured. Yes. That's right. King Qi Lian is right. It's too late to cut him open now. Fang Fan is acting as the Archbishop in red. Quickly, bring that Pixio beast here, we are going to dig his stomach. Haishan, son of the god of darkness temple, immediately followed suit. Divine system of the strongest card supplier in the end times, Doomsday strongest card supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 1925. If this Pixio escaped, wouldn't the rest of the god fruit be lost? Now, if you don't finish eating, you still have a chance for everything. Thinking of this, the cultivators of the major forces were all excited. Fang Fan subconsciously narrowed his eyes, but he didn't expect these people to be so persistent, for the fruit of God, completely ignoring other things. This wave after wave is still drifting to the extreme. Fang Fan muttered to himself, sharp rays of light flickered in his eyes. If this is the case, then the current situation will be more or less troublesome. I can't be disemboweled. You want to save me, you made me do this. Pixio rubbed against Fang Fan's trouser legs, and while talking, a look of panic appeared on his face. As a member of the Pixio clan, not to mention inheriting the glory of his ancestors, he shouldn't be too ashamed. Don't worry, you'll be fine. Fang Fan glanced at the nervous Pixio beast, then said indifferently. This confidence, he thinks he still has it? If you don't even have this bit of self-confidence, then you are really useless. The current situation is complicated if it is to be said, but it is not complicated. In fact, the overall situation can be known after a little experience, and the problem is not very big. This mythical beast has become my pet in battle. So I have an obligation to protect his safety. As for the request to disembowel him, I cannot agree. My battle pet, there must be no casualties. Fang Fan glanced around with his lingering eyes, and then said calmly. Having said all that, basically the gestures that will be displayed are fully displayed. As for what will happen next, he can probably predict. The worst result is not an all-out war. After Fang Fan finished speaking, the expressions of the leaders of the major forces changed, and the anger and killing intent could be clearly felt from their eyes. They have already killed Fang Fan. Fang Fan acts as the Archbishop in red. I have always given you face, but don't give me shame. Now I suspect that the remaining 8 god fruits are still on you, but you just don't want to take them out. What? Using a pixie beast as a cover, do you really think we are so easy to deceive? Don't you think it's too much to do this? It's inexplicably very annoying. Fang Fan acts as the Archbishop in red. I advise you that it's better not to toast or eat fine wine. Now it's best to bring that pixie beast here and let us dissect it. If there is no trace of the fruit of the gods in his stomach, haha, then you have swallowed those fruits of the gods. Haishan, the son of the Dark Temple, was speaking and then silently clenched his hands. His eyes became sharper and sharper. After Haitian, the son of the Dark Temple, finished speaking, Fu Sui, the third peak god of Genji Shenzong, also spoke directly. The fruit of God is also a treasure that we Genji Shenzong must seize. Fang Fan is acting as the Archbishop in red. I don't think you need to be so persistent. Or, don't be too greedy. Otherwise, it will provoke public outrage. Even if I don't care, I am a cultivator with hundreds of thousands of geniuses in the One God sect, and there is absolutely no way I will agree. I still hope that Fang Fan acting as the Archbishop in red will not seek his own death. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 1926. While Huangfu Sui was talking, he waved his hand, and countless practitioners gathered around him, basically displaying his stunning posture. Saying this in my heart at this moment, my gaze became more and more vicious. When a woman becomes ruthless, there is nothing wrong with a man. In addition to the Dark Temple and the Genji Divine Sect, some practitioners of the Light Alliance Temple are gradually appearing to be out of order. Furthermore, the two kings of Chunyang Kingdom and Akabane Kingdom also gradually dispatched troops. The purpose is obvious. They are all eyeing these fruits of God. I've said it before, the Pixie mythical beast is already my battle pet. If you want to get his idea, pass me first. People make money, birds die for food. I don't understand this truth, but how likely are you to be able to take the fruit of God? You should figure it out for yourself. As Fang Fan spoke, his eyes became sharper and sharper, and then he waved his hand, and the 100,000 troops of the Tian Kingdom and the 150,000 troops of the Chu Kingdom immediately gathered. In addition, there are nearly 100,000 practitioners in the Temple of the Alliance of Light who are also on Fang Fan's side. Now Tai Shuqian, the godson of the Temple of the Alliance of Light, is already there, and Fang Fan is their boss. Although some of them still have different ideas and thoughts, at least they can't shake Fang Fan's position in the Temple of the Alliance of Light. Once the identity of the deputy third-rank acting red-clothed Archbishop of the Temple of the Alliance of Light is revealed, it is actually quite imposing. Fang Fan thought to himself, his eyes became more and more intense. The thoughts gather here, and everything explodes completely. Taking a comprehensive look at the power of each other, the difference is actually not that big. The 100,000 troops of the Tian Kingdom plus the 150,000 troops of the Chu Kingdom, and the 100,000 practitioners of the Temple of the Light Alliance, this is already 350,000 troops. 0 and 0 total, almost 400,000. As for the opponent, Chunyang Kingdom and Akafeather Kingdom can each provide 150,000 troops, plus more than 200,000 from the Dark Temple and more than 100,000 from Genji Shenzong, almost 700,000. The gap of 300,000 troops can be replaced by other things. After all, the opponent is still united by several forces. Once the frontal battlefield is stabilized, grab a force and hit it hard, you can kill it directly. As Fang Fan spoke, the smiles on the corners of his mouth became more and more frequent. This is a confident smile. What should come, will always come. Let it all end at this very moment. Fang Fan. Are you completely uncooperative? Since you don't want to hand over the fruit of the gods and want to swallow the fruit of the gods alone, then we have to see if you have such a big appetite. Don't choke yourself to death. That's not good. Haishan, the godson of the Dark Temple, let out a cold shout, and while talking, his body flew into the air, and the more than 200,000 practitioners of the Dark Temple suddenly gathered together, full of murderous aura. In addition to this king, the cultivator armies of Genji Shenzong, Chunyang Kingdom, and Akabane Kingdom seemed to have formed an extremely strong alliance in an instant. Beat. Such an idea is excellent, but it is unknown how likely it is to be implemented. In other words, this is completely nonsense, there is no possibility of execution at all, and the whole process is wandering on the road to death. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Xu Yu. Chapter 1927. I will not mention Genji Shenzong and Dark Temple. Kings of Chunyang Kingdom and Akabane Kingdom, are you sure you want to go through this muddy water? Do you know how much you weigh? Do you know what you are doing now? Fang Fan squinted his eyes, and while talking, there was a murderous intent in his eyes. At this moment, all kinds of thoughts gathered, and the main focus was on the two kings of Chunyang Kingdom and Chiu Kingdom. As an indigenous force, they actually have less desire for the fruit of God to a certain extent. The reason why I am still unwilling to leave now is that I feel that I have put in so much effort, but if I get nothing in the end, I will feel extremely aggrieved, and even want to take revenge. Prince Fang Fan, share two gods' fruits with our Akabane Kingdom. I, Qi Lian, will leave immediately without saying a word. I will definitely not get involved in the fights between you outsiders these days. Otherwise, we will get involved in today's battle deal. Qi Lian, the king of the Akabane Kingdom, gritted his teeth, with a look of excitement and resentment on his face. As I said, there is only this fruit of God, and I will definitely not hand it over. Your best choice now is to leave with your Akabane Kingdom army, so as not to suffer disaster. Fang Fan bared his teeth and grinned, what he said was very true. He. There is no fruit of God, then I can change another condition. Give me Queen Natasha of the Chu Kingdom, let me annex the Chu Kingdom. Not only will I not become your opponent, but I may even become your ally. Isn't this tempting enough? You should also know that you are at an absolute disadvantage at this moment, but if our Akabane Kingdom turns against us, you may occupy a certain advantage. Such a good opportunity, are you sure you don't want to try it? If you miss this village, you won't have this store. Prince Fang Fan, you just gave up a woman, but what you can get is the whole country. Qi Lian, the king of the Akabane Kingdom, was speaking with a greedy look on his face, and his eyes turned to Queen Natasha from time to time. Fang Fan narrowed his eyes, fell silent for a moment, just looked at the front indifferently, his expression became more and more cold. Queen Natasha on the side showed a sullen look on her face, this hateful fat pig is still coveting him. Prince, let me kill him. Queen Natasha gritted her teeth, as if she was about to rush forward single-handedly. Etc. Fang Fan grabbed Queen Natasha and embraced her directly. You don't want to go. Fang Fan shook his head at Queen Natasha and said. Prince, what do you mean? Do you really want to agree to this bastard's request? What are you thinking? Queen Natasha's complexion changed intermittently, and there was a cold look in her eyes. In addition, there are more desolate and desolate colors. She has already given her heart completely, but if the entrustment is inhumane, then there is nothing more sad than the death of the heart. You little fool, what are you thinking? Hearing what Queen Natasha said, Fang Fan flicked her head with his fingers angrily, and then said dotingly. I'll deal with this kind of scum, and you can just stay here and watch. Fang Fan's eyes suddenly showed infinite affection. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 1928. Queen Natasha blinked, and then looked at Fang Fan like this. The excited look in her eyes was very real. At this moment, various thoughts were churning in her mind. At the core, I feel infinite warmth. After Fang Fan finished speaking with Queen Natasha, he suddenly burst into a sudden sensation. King Killian will definitely die. I don't want to die. Go back. Fang Fan sneered coldly, his eyes flickered with brilliance, and the murderous intent was directly concentrated, showing his thoughts to the fullest. But anyone with a normal head can feel the killing intent in Fang Fan's heart at this moment. This kind of killing intent is concentrated here, it seems to want to obliterate everything. Fang Fan, what do you want to do? You still want to attack first? You madman, you have no idea what you're doing right now. You missed your last chance. You are doomed. Are you all looking at me like that? Fang Fan is going to nibble away one by one. If the king dies, do you think you can get it? You will be next. You don't want to die. Just kill me quickly. Kill Fang Fan. Kill him. The roars continued, and the feelings gradually became more profound. Qi Lian, the king of the Akabane kingdom, yelled in panic. He thought it would be difficult for him to fight against Fang Fan with the strength of the Akabane kingdom. But under the current situation, only by attracting other practitioners can the defeat be saved. Thinking of this, Qi Lian, the king of the Akabane kingdom, barked his teeth and claws and shouted. Practitioners of other major forces are not fools, nor are they completely blind to the current situation, and they can clearly feel Fang Fan's threat. The strength of all of them together does occupy a certain advantage, but if they are not handled well, these so-called advantages will instantly turn into disadvantages. With this in mind, the leaders of the other major forces looked at each other and were ready to rush to the rescue of the king of the Killian kingdom. Fang Fan. You did it yourself this time, so you can't blame us. Cultivators of the Dark Temple, follow me. Help the Akabane kingdom. Genji Shenzone practitioners, get ready for battle. Pure Yang kingdom. On the battlefield, millions of troops and cultivators gathered, and then rushed over like a wave. Prince, come back, it's dangerous. Come back. Seeing this situation, Queen Natasha couldn't help showing a nervous look on her face, and immediately looked at Fang Fan, shouting quickly, for fear that something unexpected would happen to Fang Fan. In this situation, if you are a little careless, the whole thing will collapse. The current form is far more complicated than imagined. No need to worry. The more people come, the better. It would be even better if we could catch them all in one go. Fang Fan glanced around, and then a cold expression appeared on his face. While talking, his eyes focused on this one after another, as if he wanted to kill everything in the cradle. Fang Fan, you are dead. Let you attack the king, do you regret it now? Ahahaha, there is a way to heaven, you don't go, and there is no way to hell, you break in. Since you insist on going to the end, then I can only support you to the end. What should end, will always end. After you die, Queen Natasha will still be mine. Ahahaha. You are listening to novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 1929. Qi Lian, the king of the Akabane kingdom, was so arrogant that he couldn't even contain the information and excitement in his heart at this moment. While talking, his body trembled unnaturally, wanting to kill Fang Fan all at once. Greed is not enough to swallow elephants. Fang Fan smiled coldly. Since he dared to come here alone, he naturally has a way to deal with it. He is not so stupid as this. The immortal execution sword formation. It's your turn to play. I haven't used it since the last time it was recovered, and even King Chu didn't use it in the most difficult time of defending the city, just to wait for an excellent opportunity. Now this opportunity is very good. Fang Fan took a deep breath, and immediately threw out the Jade Immortal Sword Formation card that still stored most of the energy in his hand. Whoosh whoosh. A silver light flashed, and then tens of thousands of long swords suddenly flew around Qi Lian, the king of the Akabane kingdom. Those soldiers of the Akabane kingdom around him were instantly strangled to a pulp by tens of thousands of Zuxian swords. At one point, the scene seemed particularly bloody, and the murderous intent gathered, as if there was a gesture of obliterating everything. Fang Fan's mind moved slightly, and then he manipulated the Zuxian sword formation to strangle the entire range. The maximum range of tens of thousands of Zuxian swords can directly cover tens of thousands of people, but this state is more or less crowded. However, in the past, the army of the Akabane kingdom was relatively secret. At this moment, tens of thousands of troops were locked by the Zuxian sword formation, and they were strangled bit by bit. Every second, hundreds of soldiers of the Akabane kingdom died in the Zuxian sword. If this trend continues, it may not be long before it will completely collapse. These are some ghost things. How did it become like this? No. It's not right, there's a problem. Where do these swords come from? Quick, rush out. Get out. You can't stay inside. Qi Lian, the king of the Akabane kingdom, took a deep breath, and a look of fear appeared in his narrowed eyes. At this time, the problem has indeed become extremely serious. He clearly felt this unparalleled pressure. If he is not careful, he will die in this sword array. King, Your Majesty King Qi Lian, you can't get out, it's too evil. Our soldiers were wiped out as soon as they approached the edge of the sword formation. This is a Shura field. We won't live long, horrible. Your Majesty, what should we do now? We are inside, we won't last long, look at the long sword falling from the top of your head from time to time. Every time the sword falls, it is a life. I can't take it anymore. I want to run away, I want to run away, the atmosphere here is too tense. Who can save me? Save me. The shouts were endless, and the posture was extremely urgent. At this moment, while speaking, the body trembled violently unnaturally, like it would explode on the spot every minute. Qi Lian, the king of the Akabane kingdom, scanned the surroundings with frightened eyes, and at this moment his eyes became extremely ugly. He is not stupid, at this moment he also felt some unusual aura. Maybe this time it will really fall. At this moment, from the standpoint of Qi Lian, the king of the Akabane kingdom, I really regret it, now I can't wait to regret everything. But at this moment, what if there is more than regret? Nothing can be changed, all I have is endless panic. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 1930. I can definitely escape. The king doesn't believe it anymore. Pass down the king's order. All the troops of the Akabane kingdom attack the sword array for me. Break this sword array. We will be able to break through the sword array if we attack from inside and outside. This king doesn't want to die. I don't want to die. King 9 Songs. God Sun Haishan. Goddess Huangfu, save me. Save me. I am your most loyal ally. While Qi Lian, the king of the Akabane kingdom, was talking, cold sweat dripped from his forehead. As he was talking, his body heat was rising rapidly. It must be a lie to say that there is no sense of panic at all. At this moment, I can't wait to hit it directly. Following Qi Lian, the king of the Akabane kingdom, who ordered and asked for help, hundreds of thousands of soldiers from the Akabane kingdom attacked the Zuxian sword formation, actively responding to help. So far, the rush to help seems a bit weak. Whenever they approached the Jade Immortal Sword formation, the Jade Immortal Swords on the periphery of the Jade Immortal Sword formation would turn their blades around and kill them directly. As much as you rush over, you will be killed as much as possible. Now it is completely a human C tactic, but in front of Zuxian sword formation, the human C tactic is obviously meaningless, it will only bring more casualties. At this moment, Zuxian sword formation is only allowed to enter, not to exit. More and more cultivators and soldiers poured into the Zuxian sword formation, and what awaited them could only be more brutal killings. The scene became more and more horrifying, and the expressions and gazes of everyone seemed a little strange. Such a gesture was shown to the end, and he was completely panicked. The gourd baby saved Grandpa, one by one. I just like this way of surrounding the spot to fight for aid. Fang Fan smiled indifferently. At this moment, he didn't directly kill Qi Lian, the king of Qiyu Kingdom, what he wanted was this effect. If the current situation continues to develop, there will only be more unexpected results in the future. Thinking of this, the smile on Fang Fan's face grew more and more. According to the energy supply, the Jade Immortal Sword formation should be able to last for 2 days. Although it is currently at full capacity and consumes a lot of energy, it is naturally not a problem to survive for a day. If the fighting continues in accordance with this trend, these forces will be able to completely collapse in 1 day. Of course, Fang Fan also knows that these people are not fools, they are just trapped by the situation at the moment. Once they react, they will definitely give up the battlefield around the Zuxian sword formation completely. What do they want to pursue then? As a result, it seems more difficult. But even if this is the case, basically the army of the Akabane kingdom can be directly defeated. It's this sword formation again. This sword array is so strong. It seems that this sword formation killed Duke Hague before. Queen Natasha blinked at Fang Fan, with excitement on her face. After this fight, the originally gloomy battle situation has basically become completely clear. According to the current trend of development, the future results will definitely not be too bad. Yes. Fang Fan stood on the spot, looked at Queen Natasha who was full of doubts, then couldn't help but put his arms around her delicate waist, and then smelled the fragrance emanating from her body.